guess in the other news, I have to talk about.
Yeah, it's a little hard. There's
A
not
little
a
hard.
there's not a ton going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oops. Wait, hold on. Oh, we're live here. Sorry, did that wrong. Hey, hey, Roy, how's it going?
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah.
Excited to be here. Looks like we both have sound. Uh,
Yeah.
we've made some changes to the audio. Hopefully, it's a little bit better experience. You don't have to adjust the volume up and down too much. So if you're in the chat and you can
Mm.
let us know how the audio sounds, it's always appreciated. Because that's the only thing that really matters with audio is how it sounds.
Exactly.
You know, like it's like nothing else matters. You just got to make it sound right. So, anyway, man, how are you? Good?
I'm good. We had a chill July 4th. Um, just watched some fireworks from home. We actually have a spot
Uh,
where we can watch. It's kind of interesting. The whole city does fireworks. So if you just find a nice spot on a hill, you can just watch all the random fireworks.
oh, yeah. I used to live in an
Yeah.
apartment where I had like roof access. That was kind of cool. Like in Chicago, where you got
Yeah.
all the different. I had a busy week, so I had my all my nephews and my brother and sister-in-law up from Texas. So dune rides. He's originally from Mexico City, so ate some awesome Mexican food. Had a great 4th of July. Cooked smash burgers. Did a ton of fishing. Caught a ton of huge fish. So always a blast to have them out. So super fun. Back to the grind today, which is not as fun as they say, but yeah, had a good 4th of July. Had a great week. Took the week off vacation wise.
You mean
Wrestling.
the grind like work, right?
Yeah, that
Not the
grind.
grind like doing podcasts.
No.
Okay.
This is not
I
a
was
this.
like, oh, I feel hurt.
Oh no. This is not a grind. This is my favorite day of the week. So
Yeah.
for sure. So there's not a ton of wrestling to talk about, but there is a little bit. We got our final X this weekend, right? And we have
Yeah.
some other items that I don't know if they need to be discussed, but it seems like everybody's discussing them. So it's like the obligatory wrestling discussion about X.
Yeah.
So we'll
News.
try to do our best with that. But yeah, so this is I didn't make it officially 1.0 since I haven't quite set up like the Spotify and Apple podcasts yet. So
Yeah.
we're still in beta. So we're gonna call this
I agree with that decision.
episode .10, the Jax first veto preview and other news. So awesome. As always, we start with the wrestling quote, and this is from I feel like somebody who is sort of like forgotten in some degree, like in the wrestling community. I mean, it's a problem when your brother wins 2 Olympic titles, 4 world
Yeah.
championships. It makes it a little difficult for you to kind of break through from time to time, for sure. And then when you like moved to Arkansas or wherever he moved to, spin up wrestling in the South. So he's not as prevalent, I guess. But this is our first 4-time national champion, Pat Smith.
Mhm.
Obviously a phenomenal wrestler, and like he's like the guy who ran the first sub 4-minute mile, right? He proved it could be done, and
Right.
we've had some people do it after that, but first is always super impressive. But so this is champions do extra. They
Hmm.
sweep the mat, they pick up the towels, they do what others won't. So this is interesting because it's always, there's that video of, like, KO like vacuuming, right? I think we even had it on the podcast.
We had it on. Yeah.
Yeah, and and then also, like, Carter's always like, I love these coaches. They like do my laundry. They, like, it's like after he wins the title, he's like, nobody else's coaches wash their dirty socks, like whatever. So on some level, right? I think that it's true that there's always stories about Michael Jordan like shooting free throws at 3 a.m. or whatever, like,
Yeah, and Kobe.
yeah, to be the best of the best, you have to put in the extra work. I don't know that there's a lot of stories about Michael Jordan picking up towels
Right.
or shining Scotty's shoes or nothing. But so it's a little interesting what he decided to. I guess that's like a dedication to the entire program or something, right? Is that what he's talking about?
Yeah, I kind of wonder who the quote is for. If it's for champions,
Right.
right? You like, remember to be humble.
Yeah, right.
Don't be a prick
Yeah.
to everyone around you. So if it's a quote for champions, then yeah, I like that message. If it's a quote for some aspiring champions, like, I don't know that this is like the best advice.
I kind of feel like this might have been like something he thought of while he was like watching his kids slacking.
Yeah.
You know what, man?
You see me picking up the towels,
right?
I'm a champion.
You're never gonna be a champion if you don't start cleaning up around this house. Right? How do you expect to be a champion if I can't even expect you to do the freaking dishes, man? And look, there's spots on them. What are we talking about here?
Right.
Do I need to show you my 4 trophies again?
Right. Just visualize your opponent not doing any chores, and then do the chores.
There's a way to do stuff, and that ain't it, kid.
Right.
So after that, who's mowing the lawn? Oh, I'm doing it, Dad. I got you. I want to be a champion. Oh yeah, good stuff. I don't want to talk about it. You got any goals? You doing any good?
I'm doing a 6 a.m. workout tomorrow.
Nice.
Fully locked in.
Any updates on Titan Mercury?
No. I'm gonna have to just go knock on their door because I don't think they even check their email.
Road trip. All right. So, yeah, thought we'd do a little bit of news. I guess I've got a couple opinions, things to say, I guess, on that, and then we'll talk a little about Jack's veto and what you think about what's going to happen in that match and what I think, and we'll probably both be completely wrong, but we'll see. All right, but first, some good news. Ben Askren made a post. I don't know if you said you did see it.
Yeah, I saw it.
So that's worth checking out. Excited that, obviously he lost a lot of weight, lost 50 pounds, and but he's talking. He's seems to be just the same old Ben, just a little unrecognizable, as you said. Won't let me get there, but I think I encourage anyone to go check it out. And Ben seems to be like excited to get through his recovery, and still got a lot of zest for life. Still, doing a lot of interesting analysis and things like that, and so super cool. And the sport's a better place with Ben Askren in it. So again, if you haven't got a chance to see it on Instagram yet, definitely recommend that you go check that out. And it was it was nice to see something not from him. You know, I originally created the slide and had like a little update about how he got his transplant, and then like, you know, an
Yeah,
hour and a half ago, you know, he
right. That this is just posted.
yeah. So
Yeah.
very fresh, very cool. And I guess on the other side of the coin, I don't know if like, I mean, I'm a little, there's lots of things to say, but let's just say, so this is, I made Bo Bartlett the title here because like Bo is the only person who's really, you put his name on something, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so all we know in reality is what we know from Bo. And, you know, Bo didn't say this anonymously or anything. There's an article that's out there. The it has a number of different things. It certainly has some a lot of information about Carter, allegations related to Carter, you know, bullying in the. I mean, bullying's not even like a great word for it. Like it's
Yeah.
like I think it's a little bit more than that. In the Penn State room, there's some other stuff in terms of you know, some allegations related to, you know, sexual misconduct that are in the article as well. Um, but it's been really interesting to see like the media reaction, right? And
Yeah. Yeah.
the, I mean, for me, like what's really, I don't know, I want to say it's upsetting, but disappointing, or people are talking about like, you know, is there both sides, or like I was watching the FRL and like Piles was like he referred to in a, I felt like a semi derogatory way, a referred to Bo's wife as an attention seeker, which I thought was hilarious because this is a guy who goes in a room with a camera by himself, makes a 10-minute video about a question that could be answered in 30 seconds tops, and then posts it on every social media platform. I mean,
But he wouldn't deny that he's
an attention
an
seeker,
attention seeker himself.
I suppose. So
Because
maybe
he,
like, right, is it right? Maybe it wasn't a derogatory comment. Felt like it was. But anyway,
well, I think he just. I mean, it's questionable whether her intention is to help the wrestling community. I think is his point. Whereas his attention seeking.
well, it's not. But that to me is like that's a big cop out with the media too. It's like they say everybody's trying to burn down the wrestling community. Everyone's trying to look, if KO did something really, really bad and KO loses his job, you know what's gonna be here tomorrow? Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like we literally already have another team that's waiting in the wings to become a dynasty. Like we're already queued up for the end of Penn State if it happens to happen. I mean, if Flow Wrestling went bankrupt today,
Mm-hmm.
you know what would be okay tomorrow? Wrestling. Well, this idea that you can't like, you know, oh, if you're like digging too deep in this story or you're talking about a negative light, that you're like attacking wrestling. You're not. You're just asking like, I mean, okay, so let's say, I mean, this idea like we haven't heard both sides. Why haven't we heard both sides? It's because the other side hasn't spoken. Old
Yeah, but
Bartlett,
you are not under any obligation to
no, but you're not.
quickly respond to rumors.
You're not. But it
Right.
stands. You if you don't deny them, then they become a lot more truthful in my mind. I mean, if you don't,
Oh, come on.
no,
That's
yeah,
like no,
no,
no. That's
this
totally
isn't.
giving power to somebody else to like just say anything, and then oh, you got to deny
But
it now, or
this
the
isn't anybody saying anything. I mean that's
no,
a little
but that's
unfair.
standard. No, that's standard. That if somebody makes any statement at all that's untruthful, if you don't deny it, it must there must be some truth to it. I don't
Okay,
agree with that
so
at
I
all.
mean, like I guess just from the perspective of like it has to. I mean, there's been radio silence completely from like Penn State
Right.
University, Penn State coaching staff, and like I don't care like how long they have to answer the KO will eventually have to answer the question. Did Bo Bartlett come to you and tell you that Carter was grabbing his dick, sticking his finger in his butt, and taking pictures of him in the shower? I mean, that question's gonna come, regardless of how long it takes. And then he has to say yes or no, or he has to say, well, I'm not gonna talk about that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But like that question is not avoidable forever. I mean, right? Or is it? Can he get away with saying no comment to that? Can the university get away to saying no comment to that?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. It See, the big part of the problem is like we don't know like the truth of the situation. We just have heard these things.
But they're not just heard these things. This is somebody on record.
No, no,
Name checking the coaches, name checking Carter. This is
yeah,
not, I
no, this
mean,
is not an unnamed source.
this is
This is not.
first
Yeah,
person experience.
yeah.
So like I feel like those questions are gonna have to come at some point.
Yeah, at some point, but it takes time to
It doesn't
hear
take
all sides of the story. I mean,
it doesn't
I
take
don't.
time if it's not true.
Mm, I doubt that there's like nothing. I doubt that this is just completely made up.
Right.
That there is like some thing, but there might be different interpretations of what happened.
Right. But there's not until like but what would I mean you, but there's not anyone like you do you think they're going to come out and tell their side of the story?
Mm, I mean, I don't know because I don't know what like actually happened, right? So both Bo and Carter are leaving too, right?
Carter, I don't know about Carter. Like I both said they Penn State staff when they were trying to keep him at Nittany Lion told them that Carter was not going to be like brought in. But
Okay.
that was before he wrestled for them in Final X. So it's not like they booted him.
Right.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess for me, I mean the allegations are serious, and it sounds like he went to like coaches first, so
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't just like going to the internet and trying to
Right.
start a thing. Uh,
He went to coaches and then with his stuff, then he went to the police.
and he went to the police, right.
Right. Mm.
So I think he in terms of it being like real from his point of view, he's doing like the right steps. I just don't want to like weigh in too much on something I don't actually know, what it is.
Right. But well, how will you ever know? I mean, you won't know. Right.
Yeah, well, I
I mean,
guess
if you're
not.
willing to like say, I don't want to weigh in on it because the other side's not talking. That's in some ways completely unfair to Bo Bartlett.
Well, they're not talking to X. They're not going on podcasts. I mean, I don't know what is actually like things could be happening right now and we don't know because it's like it's not just some, who's dating who gossip thing. It's like an actual legal thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to just go online and just shoot from the hip on stuff with like that.
Right. The university, right? The university had a choice of saying we're aware of the allegations, we're conducting an investigation, or like there's a lot of different things that they could do than just straight radio silence.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the weirdest thing to me. Now, Carter, I get
I agree that it is weird that
that,
they haven't done that much at least.
right? That like they don't even acknowledge that and I think the article is like from. I mean, to me, it's like it's a real reporter.
Right.
I mean, this has gone through an editor. This information has been vetted to the degree where they're not going to get sued for slander or libel. So, I mean, there's obviously something there, But this whole idea that like I don't know, like if you say we're waiting for both sides, there's been ample. I don't know. For me, there's been ample opportunity to like come out with some sort of statement.
Hmm.
Then and if like it's like it invalidates, like I mean, if the other side never talks, then what both says doesn't count. Like I mean, every day they don't talk to me, it makes like both side more reputable, I guess. I mean,
That's understandable.
no one's challenged anything that he said.
Yeah, I guess for me, I'm still just waiting. I have a little more patience because it is a real legal thing, and it's only been like what 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Like sometimes things just take time to like you gotta get your facts straight before you go make a public statement.
yeah, okay, yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I guess. I mean, to me, like how it all shakes out. But I feel like they have to address everything like publicly. And that's not Carter. I mean, like the Carter stuff's a little bit different. Like I feel like, and that's important. I mean, Carter's not a. I mean, obviously, it's important to Carter. It's important to Carter's career and things like that. But like, I feel like the allegations against like the Penn State coaching staff that they knew and did nothing
Right.
are the only thing that's really serious here, and like
Yeah, that's
in terms
actually
of the sport, right? I mean that they, I mean how, I mean multiple times, like Paul said, I went to the coaches with this, I went to the coaches with this, I went to the coach with this, I went to Kale with this, and like
Mhm.
okay, I think Kale needs to issue some sort of statement,
Yep.
but
Well,
we'll see. Like you say, I mean it is not a done deal, and but I feel like I don't know the media reaction been kind of strange. And then like I think what did Willie say on Bash? He's like, yeah, the mainstream media hasn't picked up the Carter stuff, so maybe it's not true. No.
but there might be something to that.
Oh, I think that like the Carter thing is um like those types of allegations are like certainly like I don't think as seriously. It's not as serious to like the community. I mean, in terms of the sport, than the what the potential misconduct by the coaches.
Right.
I mean, the Carter stuff is right a different thing, and like more evidence that he's like really not a great dude. But that existed. I mean, I don't know why the mainstream pick up on that because it is really difficult to filter those types of situations out, right? The Kasich thing's kind of weird. So it was Carter and Kasich that went in the locker room
Right.
together, and like nobody's talking about that. I mean,
Nobody is talking
were
about
they
that.
hot tubbing or like what's that? I mean, like Kasich seems to be like getting a little bit of a reprieve or something. Like so, I don't know.
Right.
Oh, all right. Enough of that.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Let's do some news. What did I do here? All right, so a couple things. I noticed that longtime listener Bo Nickel took my advice. if you if you go back to previous pods, right? That where I said he needs to like stop getting punched in the face because he's not very good at that, but he's really good at wrestling, and he should call the Hulkster and be like,
Yep.
"Hey, brother, you got to get me in that league." And it happened. So,
And he's calling out David Taylor, right?
I didn't quite see like the Ariel Hawani like interview. Like, I'm not sure about that. Um, but I think his opponent's going to be Cardenas. That's what I saw today.
Oh, okay.
So, should be interesting.
Do you think Bo's got a lot on the line with this? I mean, if he loses,
Right. I mean, I think that like
he's kind of, I don't know, who's going to care about him ever again?
So I think that like the MMA community's kind of there already. I mean, why else would Dana let him do this, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Dana's letting him do it because, like, well, if he loses, whatever, we'll just feed
Yeah.
him to somebody, and if he wins, he might like rebuild his brand a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I think that like Dana's a little bit like, eh, whatever, because I'm sure he had to get permission to do this,
Right. Right.
and I'm sure that Dana might even be taking a little bit of a cut. I mean, I don't know, you know. So, but yeah, interesting. I guess that'll be fun. What's weird is like, you know, we decided last week that we're gonna do a show on real American freestyle, and then like you
Mm-hmm.
go to like start doing research, there's just not that much information out, right? And then
Right.
like we should have done this show on Claw.
Yeah.
Because like their draft's coming up on July 21st. They've got some, you know, I think Zane, Mock. They got a number of like intriguing wrestlers. They've got like general managers. I'm not a big fan, I guess, of the. I mean, I love dual meets, but like the team concept in professional
Right.
combat sports, like I don't see how that works. I mean, I get with college affiliation, you got a built-in fan base and all of that. I mean, I love dual meets, but at the pro level, combat is primarily very individual,
Yeah.
right? And so, um, where do you? I mean, like, so I could see like, you know, if you did like countries or something, you know, like
Yeah. Countries would work.
Dagestan versus America, or right, or Europe versus America, or Europe versus Dagestan, or like you could make that work because people would have that allegiance or they would understand that, right?
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
Mm-hmm. But just some random team drafted by Angelo Ferrari. like, like
Right.
what? Like I so
I
I
mean, they
don't
must be counting on like the marketing of the team
right.
to do something. Yeah, it's kind of interesting because Real American Freestyle is going to go with the UFC, right? The idea that like there's
Yeah.
a champ per weight, and
Mm-hmm.
then you get ranked or whatever, and then they'll make cards.
Yeah.
And Claw is going to be dual meets.
Yeah, it's my understanding. Like team versus team. Or I could see like you could have teams but a mixed card. Maybe a hybrid of that, you know what I mean? So it'll be like the 133. I don't know. I don't know how the whole team model works. But I'm
Yeah,
actually like I'll say that their marketing's better. Their social media is like more on point. They're out there. You understand what they're doing.
you're talking about Claw right
Yeah,
now.
Claw, right.
Yeah,
Real American Freestyle is like confusing me as to like what exactly what they're trying to do there.
yeah, yeah.
Because like it's crazy like how
Well,
little information we're getting.
yeah. Really little information. It's August 30th, I think, is their first
Right?
thing.
Yeah.
It's actually the same day as CGI 2, for those of you who follow grappling. That's Craig Jones Invitational.
Is that the Gable Jones match or
Yeah, Gable Jones, and I think Pat Downey is involved in that. I think he's on the American Misfits team. Um,
that's fitting?
so but basically, there's a huge grappling event. I mean, CGI, I think, has basically dethroned ADCC, or at least temporarily, as like the top non-wrestling grappling event. So it's just interesting that they picked like that day
Mm-hmm.
to do something like this, and also the World Championships for UWW are coming up, so
Right.
it's not an ideal time for anybody who's on the world team or an alternate to go do some uh, speculative event like this.
Yeah. I kind of feel like yeah, there's all kinds of things, but and those things, but then just
Right.
but just alone, they're not even really like marketing it, right? I mean, there's no
It
interviews.
does
There's
seem
no
like so they had put their foot on the pedal on the marketing about, I feel like, 2 or 3 weeks ago,
right.
and I was getting things in my feed like this guy signed, that guy signed, and people were posting little 1 minute like type things. And
Yeah.
yeah, but maybe it's just July 4th. Maybe it's a waste of time to do marketing during July 4th anyway.
So that's it. Like maybe like they're just geniuses, right? Like they just like they gotta like their marketing right now is getting people talking about and bitching about how little marketing they do. Like
Right.
they've got a whole AI formula that's going on. It's like, oh, this is exactly what we want to hear. Like people screaming for like more information and like. But anyway, we digress. Here we go, talking about Real American Freestyle. We should be talking about Claw. So
Yeah, yeah.
so I haven't figured out exactly where to catch the draft and all that. And like, I don't know. I mean, but I am sort of like I
Well,
feel,
when's Claw's first event?
see, again, next week, that's going to be the show.
Okay.
We're going to have to deep dive this. The
Right.
draft's July 21st. And
Okay.
we'll find out more. And then Gabe Arnold left Iowa.
Well, he was asked to be.
Dismissed, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Was dismissed
A
from
little
the
different.
team. It is a little different. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Like
what
I
was your so I had an initial reaction to that, and even though I am like the Iowa hater on this podcast, um it's more like, like I hate the Yankees, not as people, but it's just more fun when there's a villain. And so I've just picked Iowa as like my villain in wrestling. But I thought that this was my initial reaction was like this was a interesting move by Tom Brands, um, especially given the that Bartlett like backed out or decommitted. And I liked the message that this sent. Um, Sometimes people are just like not a right fit for the team. And I think that there's a little bit of a vibe, at least from my perspective, that NIL considerations are driving a lot of decision making. And this just, it felt to me like I was like actually getting away from all that NIL stuff and like actually getting back to like running their program the way they want it to be run. And that starts with like the culture.
right. Yeah, I agree.
And that's just the way it landed with me right away. I didn't, that's one of the thoughts I had. And, I wish him the best.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Talented guy. For
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was interesting, right? Like you say, I mean, like it kind of like reinforced that the I mean, you look at like Jordan Williams or whatever got arrested and like all of that, and they didn't like throw him out with the bathwater or something, right? They like I mean, it's come to light that anyway that like he was probably overcharged, if nothing else. He got a bunch of the charges dropped. And
Yeah.
and right, with Gabe Arnold, I mean, I'll like there was like last year like they were managing him and he had admitted to having, or not admitted, but acknowledged some like mental health issues and stuff like that and things like that. And I think that he had nothing bad to say about the coaches, on the way out, at
Mhm.
all, even though
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I think that like I think you're right. I mean that like it's a little bit of a wake up call to the brands and about what they need to do with their program, and also to the wrestlers in the program. And I think you're right. I mean, the days of
Yep.
crazy NIL are probably past us.
It's pulling back. And I remember this story. I think it was about Dan Gable. It's a story I heard growing up. And Dan Gable went to some recruit's house in like Oklahoma. And this
Mm-hmm.
guy was like a 2 or 3 time Oklahoma state champ. And ultimately decided not to recruit the kid, even though I think that person went to Oklahoma State and won, or was an All American or maybe even a national champion.
Mm-hmm.
And then people asked him, like, why didn't you recruit that kid? And he said, well, he had too many other interests besides wrestling. And it's just I mean, it wasn't about the talent and it wasn't
Right.
about the potential, but there's just a certain kind of personality. Like each pro wrestling program kind of has its own personality,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes people aren't a fit. And I think this NIL thing has created a wave of high school wrestlers who are. It's kind of interesting. Are they social media first or wrestling first? I mean, you got to be committed to get that good at, but
Right.
are you doing the social media because it's like a necessary thing, or are you like kind of into it? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
is wrestling helping your social media career, or is social media helping your wrestling career?
Right.
And I think that uh, just the way it looked to me, that Gabe was like kind of into social media more than wrestling. This is the way it looked to me, and that maybe that wasn't a good fit for Iowa room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I mean, this is probably ultimately maybe okay for him. I mean,
Oh, it'll be better for everyone, I think.
I don't think he had a spot. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was going to be Kennedy, it was going to be Caliendo, it was going to be Ferrari. I mean, there wasn't any like room in the lineup for him, and did seem like someone who wants to start. So
Yeah, and maybe we'll start seeing more of that because a lot of the like talented people have been concentrating in just a few rooms.
right.
I mean, there's in Iowa and Penn State and in some other places, there's definitely people who could start on 90% of other Division One teams who are
Mm-hmm.
maybe never going to start in 4 years. And sometimes you're going to think, what do I want out of my college wrestling experience?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and this place, it might be the best place to become a great wrestler or the best wrestler I can be, but it's not the place to get the most starts and travel and put on the uniform, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, it'll be interesting. And then like, will coaches develop like reputations for rehabbing wrestlers? You know,
Yeah.
so all of a sudden, like, right, the some of the California schools or different schools will be
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield, the Bakersfield stepping stone, right? Like, we'll take you.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was interesting with Bakersfield. Like, I'm like AJ, like when he went there, he went there. He said he went there because like they were the only coaches that said we got your back. You
Yeah.
know, if you screw up again, we got your back. He said every other program was like, you got one shot. And like, but Bakersfield's like, no, we got you, man. If you come here, we got you. Win, lose, or draw. So, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be interesting. And yeah, I hope he turns it around, and also
Yeah.
like learns or builds a desire to score more points.
Come on. This is his opportunity to just wrestle the way he wants to wrestle.
I know, like,
Go
okay,
to, go to, go to Little Rock and
yeah, right,
do what you do. It, do you, man. Do
yeah.
you.
All right, good luck, Gabe. All right, so Jack's versus Forrest. I kind of made a little list of like why they'll lose and why they'll win. You can kind of critique it. I made it kind of quickly, so I'm not wholly sure like uh how much I feel about it, but like, so I will say that I think that Vito will win this in two. I think that Vito will win this without a lot of problem. I think that
Okay.
Vito might be a little hurt, but I think that Vito like took third at Worlds with a broken finger, like, and only lost to Ono. So he's really, really, really good. And
Yeah.
he was the defending champion the year before that. So I can't visualize that Jax Forrest is good enough to beat Vito. Like, so anyway, what I said is Vito will win because of experience. He's stronger, more mature, physically, faster. Why he would lose is because he's injured and father time.
He's old. How old
Eventually,
is he? He's not
I
old.
don't know how old he is, but like,
It's not like automatically younger is always better. Like,
what I mean by old is that eventually everybody loses. I mean,
sure.
unless you're John Jones or Floyd Mayweather or like a very, very select. In combat sports, the margins are small at that level, and you
Hmm.
eventually get too old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Henry Cejudo keeps going out there. He's super competitive, but not getting his hand raised, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and he was the best for a long time. But margins are thin. So on Jack's side, I think Jack has an ultimate like level of confidence. I mean, he like really feels like he's gonna figure things out in every scramble. And like so I feel like you get into like crazy sequences and he can show Vito something that he hasn't necessarily seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Or an easy two or an easy four, that kind of thing. I think that like that could happen. Um and then why he'll lose, he's just not, so I'm saying mistakes, risk management. Gonna do something dumb, take a dumb shot, you know, you know, not, give up a four when he should give up a two, something like that. And he's too young.
Too young. So you
I,
can be too old.
I don't
Or,
even know what that means, but like, so what about what's your thoughts?
um. Well, I'm in agreement that Vito will win. I think it will be fairly straightforward. I doubt he's that injured. We have not gotten any official story though about why exactly he asked for the delay.
Right.
It's just that it's his, because he's a returning medalist. He's allowed to ask for that. I think he doesn't even need to give a reason, right?
I heard somewhere online that you had to get like a doctor's note or something, but like,
So, okay, so he has to have some reason, but
but these days you could probably just print off some stationery and like,
right, right, right. So
I don't think you need to show a prescription or anything.
yeah, um, yeah, and I just think that Vito is definitely like the best guy we got at this weight. So the people that Jax beat, um, I don't think that that's like, oh, because he beat those people, he's gonna beat Vito. Like I don't think that that's,
Like Vito would have beat all those people.
yeah,
Right.
pretty pretty sure of that. So, but we'll see. I mean, Jax is he's young and he's never done it before, and that sometimes that can be a plus. And when I say he's never done it before, I'm only talking about the senior level because he has actually gone to worlds at like age level stuff, right?
I'm not sure. Because he's in that really tight little. I mean, there's a lot of good guys down at that weight class,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
Uh,
So I'm not 100% sure. Because there's
and he
Blaze.
might, yeah. There's Blaze. He might get the advantage of so this happening at Fargo. Do you think that the crowd will be like behind Jax because he's like kind of like closer to high school than Vito?
Yeah, 100%.
Because Fargo is like basically a high school event.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I think 100% on that one.
So there's that's an X factor that could make a difference.
I think that's what got Duke Mafia over the hill.
Well, but Duke Mafia, that wasn't a high school event though. That was a proper Final X.
Yeah, but backyard though. I mean,
Is in his backyard, but is also in Yanni's backyard too, right?
yeah.
So, but this I think will. So the Fargo, I forget the name of the arena, but it's a big arena, and if it's like 95% for Jack's Forest, sometimes the crowd makes a difference.
Yeah.
So I would put that under a reason he could win too.
Crowd. The crowd.
The 11th man.
Right. 11th man.
Wouldn't that be like kind of weird to be like a world medalist and you're just at some like high school tournament weighing in and like, what is this?
Yeah. But that's kind of like a lot of these events are kind of.
The Final X was its own proper.
Final X for sure was a production and like
Yes.
fundraiser, and it was yeah, there's a lot going on there. But yeah, I mean, I think that they're not unused to like that as a
Yeah, I get that's true.
as a thing. Yeah, it'll be so. I'll ask you this: If
Okay.
Vito wins, what odds do you give him of medaling?
I gotta see because
Well, he won,
we.
so that's what you saw.
I mean, if he wins
Vito
in a
wins
way,
2-0 with one tech. What odds do you give him of medaling?
well, basically the thing I'll be looking for is if he looks injured or not. If he doesn't look injured, I give him very good odds of medaling, like 80%.
Okay. If Vito looks injured and Jax wins, what odds do you give him of medaling?
If Vito looks injured and Jax wins,
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go down to like 20%,
Yeah, right.
maybe less, 10%.
And I guess that's why Vito's the favorite.
Yeah.
Like, right. And I don't know how much it would change, right? Because I feel like if Jax wins, it's because Vito's not right. So it doesn't necessarily increase my thought on how likely he is to medal.
But what if Vito is all right and Jax just wins? But there's a thing about wrestling is when you lose, you just look bad. Even if you're like the third best
Right.
wrestler in the world and you get beat 8-0 by the world champ, you look bad. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just the sport. So if Jax just genuinely beats him, we're all gonna like look at it and think that Vito didn't look right.
Right. I already know
Yeah.
that now before I see the match.
Right.
If Jax wins, I'm going to be, well, what's wrong with Vito? Like,
Right.
and that's totally unfair, right? Because it may
Yep.
not be true at all. But yeah, so super excited. I actually did. Can you look up the times? I didn't like, I want to say, I don't know.
Uh, should I ask AI?
Yeah, you can try that. Hey, Grok. Final X. Okay, not the Final X match. Thanks. That's what the AI Google overview gave me, the Final X times.
Ooh. Monday, July 14th. First match at 3:20 Central Time. Round 2 at 4:30 Central Time.
Like 120 your time?
Yeah. Well, that's good for me. Actually, AI linked a Flow like Jax vs Vito preview.
Nice.
Yeah, how do we get our preview like?
Right. Yeah. I guess we should probably include or know what the time of the match is before we complain too much about that. So it's yeah, Monday. That's weird. So I don't even know like did you ever go out to Fargo?
I did. I went twice.
Yeah. So that's like an all week.
Oh, the event itself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I went for cadets and for juniors. And what we would do is we'd have a training camp at U of I, Champaign,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'd get on a bus and take the bus ride up there. And I don't think I was there for the whole thing, so
Right.
I just did my tournament and then
Mm-hmm.
left. Uh, but it's a while because I don't think cadets and juniors happen at the same time. The format is totally different, by the way. When I went, it was in the '90s. They had this like double elimination system,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and I remember one year, Dave Douglas, who was on our team Illinois, he lost like his second match, and he was like a favorite to win the whole thing, and he did actually end up winning the whole thing, um, just because it was a double elimination thing. So he had to beat somebody twice, and so that was interesting. I almost wrestled Kale Sanderson actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I had won uh, in the cadets, I was. You don't know who you're going to wrestle because everyone just has a number.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was like my second or third match, and I lost. And then the guy I lost to ended up wrestling Kale.
Oh, nice. How do you do?
He got tacked 10-0. Or whatever a tech was back then. I
Right.
forget.
Wow.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. I believe that. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I guess I got to figure this out, make some time for it.
Yeah.
I'm Monday. So, I was a little later in the day for me, so I should be able to, right.
Yeah, we should watch whether we do it live. We got to think about it. Are we doing it live on X or are we just going to have it as a invite only event?
Yeah, I don't know. I got to figure out if I can be home or not Monday. So, not sure.
Right. Well, I'll
But
DM Ralph if you want to get in the invite.
right. Do a little Zoom watch party.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it though. Exciting. I mean, it's a good like kind of get you excited again for Worlds and I don't know. I mean, this is a really like crazy, unpredictable Worlds for Team USA for me. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. We're coming off no golds at the Olympics.
no goals at any of the weights.
Right. Well, in men's freestyle,
Right.
I think some of the women won gold, but in men's freestyle, and it had been a long time. I can't even remember the last time
For the Olympics, it's like yeah, it was like
before I was born.
the 50s before I was born.
Okay.
I'm freaking old, man. It was like 56 or something was the last time. Or it's crazy, but that we hadn't won Olympic gold in freestyle. But yeah, Piles is convinced this is when we reassert our dominance over Japan, and he's gonna like party on everybody. But I'm not as confident that that's gonna happen. But we'll see. Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a thesis. I need to flesh this out a little bit, but our age level success, I'm not so sure that that's going to translate to senior level success.
So I was like, so for me, with like U20, like everyone's like, yeah, we medaled at every weight and everything, and we were like fourth in golds. You know, like Russia had a couple, Iran had a couple, Japan had a couple, and then we had like one. So I think that like obviously as you're funneling up, you'd like to see guys at U20 not getting bronze, but getting like a gold.
Right, right.
We got one gold, and it was Lilladal, and he won 2-1 without an offensive point.
Yeah.
And like, so I was like, ugh, we gotta like. I mean, I think some of that. Who knows? Because then you're like, okay, well, why don't we score? Oh, it's because of folk styler. You can say any narrative you want, right? make it fit whatever theory you want to make. But I do think that we it would be nicer if we had like more dynamic wrestlers. I
Yeah.
mean, what made Jordan Burroughs unstoppable was that he could score on everybody.
Yeah.
Right. We need the guys who can score. So it's nice to see like Blaze and stuff like showing a little bit more offense and not just like great positioning and everything like that.
Yeah.
Because all the champions can score points. I mean, they're good defensively, but they all know how to score. So I mean, I think you're right. I mean, like I don't, like I mean, it kind of goes back to your like guys only have 10 years, and if you peak out at U20s, then
Right.
where are you going to be? And I just feel like age wise, this is a really strange quad for like the best U.S. wrestlers because all the greats are going to be too old for the next Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be no Burroughs. There's going to be no Schneider. There's going to be no Dake. There's going to be no Taylor. You know what I mean? And then like we've got these super dynamic young guys, but like if you're in U20s now, the idea that winning a gold medal in a couple of years,
Well, that's normal in other countries, though.
that they're that young.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. Traditionally, and this has changed a little bit in the last like maybe 5, 6 years, but the average age of like gold medalists from other countries, I think, is like early 20s, and USA was like late 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and it was because the US wrestlers did the college thing, and then didn't even really start getting serious about freestyle until they were like 21, 22. It
Right.
just took with them. It took them that long
Builder game.
to get that good. Yeah, but there's been definitely in the last like 10, 15 years a focused effort on trying to get our cadet and junior and all those people like doing better at the cadet worlds and stuff like that. Um, And I'm not so sure. I guess the idea was like getting people more freestyle reps when they're young would help us out at the Olympics, and I'm not so sure it has.
Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, you look at like the greats, and like Jordan Burroughs wasn't even winning NCAA titles till his junior year,
Right.
right? I mean, it was just a slow, steady, and then but by the time he won his second like NCAA title, he was the best guy in the world,
Yeah.
right? And like, yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, I think that like we obviously do well, but I mean, it's getting more competitive as more and more Russians move to other countries and more Americans,
Yeah.
you know, move to other countries. It's super competitive in that space. And yeah, we'll see. But like, yeah, and also like, the guys like Cejudo or whatever went directly, straight out of high school. You're never gonna see that now if a guy can get 100 grand a year to wrestle in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna
Pico was the last guy
right.
that did it, and he came really close, but just missed the team. He was he
Mm-hmm.
was trying to make the Rio Games, I think, in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of a bummer. Actually, I was really pulling for him, and
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
lived in California, and too bad.
Yeah, that was a bummer. But yeah, I mean, like now, college is now
Oh yeah, you
a
get a
way to
full.
make money.
There's no limit on scholarships. There's NIL money.
Mm-hmm.
There's you can get paid to do camps. Like the NIL money, there's a few guys that they talk about like 6 and 7 figure things, but even just for regular people, they weren't even allowed to work camps before.
Right.
And now at least they can like work camps and have
Mm-hmm.
like summer job, stay in the sport. And so it's a much more attractive option now to wrestle in college.
Yeah. Right. And I think like even though it's not like big NIL money or something, I think it's like, I mean, it's reasonable for like every kid in like a Big Ten or big program.
Even like D2 programs,
Mm-hmm.
like you can run a camp, you can work a camp. You
Right.
couldn't do that before.
Yeah.
And at least it's fun. Like it's not even always about the money. It's like it was just so dumb that you couldn't even like have a job doing wrestling, which is like the main thing you're good at.
Right. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. But yeah, cool. I guess good luck to both these guys. Hopefully they get
Yeah.
out of it healthy. Like it's gonna be pretty weird on a Monday in a gym surrounded by high school kids, but that's cool. All right. So the wager of the weekly is Kale will be coaching at PSU this fall. What say you, Roy?
For sure. For sure. I think that um this is a thing that's largely living on X. I don't think that it will get to the point where he feels like he needs to step down or anything like that, or asked to step down.
So this is a survivable offense with no knowledge, and this is not the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
It'll be back to dodgeball, Bible studies, and quality coaching.
That's I'm going with that.
Right on. We didn't even talk about Brooks, but that's like the other news of the day. Like
That's true. We didn't
talk about Aaron popping for something he bought at the grocery store. There's a lot of, well, forget it.
Right.
But there's a lot of implausible things about his situation. So for another time. I mean, he's gonna have to live with whatever happens. I mean, he's gonna be suspended or something. So
Yeah, I think it's a mandatory, probably 1 to 2 years.
Right.
I heard it's like a serious.
Yeah, that'll be weird. But because I mean, he is a medal level guy,
Oh, for sure. He's like a gold
right?
candidate for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, hit this real quick. I know you got a timeline. So, just a couple things I had. Best of social. Had the Real American Freestyle hurting a little bit in their ticket sales. I haven't gotten
This
mine yet,
when is
but
this post from?
this was today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So somebody just like navel gazing this whole situation.
Yeah, I don't even. I mean, like, I haven't gotten mine yet, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of pressure to like, like, score early. What they're gonna do is they're gonna announce like Gable Wyatt, and it's gonna sell out, and I'm gonna spend $200 this ticket. So that's so that's the risk. But at this point, and I again like, I mean, I don't know. They need to lock in a little bit more with their promotion and that kind of thing, right? I mean, it's and so I think our next show should be Claw. I mean,
Okay,
I'm getting a
let's
much
do that.
I'm getting a much better vibe off Claw. You know, it's like being like more organized and I think more dedicated like to wrestling. It's a matter of like, can they make a profitable product? So, um, the turtle. So someone said we talked about this, right? That the talks that the turtle versus Bo Nickel, Madison Square Garden. So I feel the Iron Turtle will. He's an interesting guy. He's like the exact opposite of Bo, right? So Bo's been in combat sports since he was 2, and this guy got into like fighting like older in life. Like I want to say like even like 18, 19, 20 or something. Like from his military instructor liked to box, so he started boxing. And this guy's like flying up the charts in the UFC, right? And
Okay.
like, so you know what? He's the exact opposite. I think one of the things that Bo's problem is he never gets teed up in the gym.
Yeah.
But you know when the Iron Turtle walked into the gym with no experience, that they were teeing him up from day one, right? I mean, the guy's been doing great. I mean, like to get to the UFC, you know, I mean, just so this will be interesting. I hope they make this fight. Uh, but I'm gonna take the turtle.
Okay.
Shockingly, if in fact they fight, but we'll see. Team trophy. Oh, did you see this? It's kind of fun little thing.
Oh, I have seen this.
So this is like the team trophies over the years,
Uh huh.
and Iowa State, and then obviously it is interesting that like there's really like when you look at how many teams are on this,
Right.
wrestling's never been very competitive. You know? Like, I mean, you don't see like I was about to say you don't see Lehigh sneaking in there, but they've got 3. So
Yeah.
I didn't mean Lehigh. You don't see like Illinois. Illinois didn't get one, huh? That
The
Poeta
team
team.
trophies is top three.
Oh, yeah. No, top 4.
Top four. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is
Since the start.
since the 70s.
Yeah, since they started doing team trophies.
Okay.
So it's super interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I mean that like how sort of
Well, there's
competitive.
three main programs.
Mm-hmm. 4 now.
Where's Cornell? I thought Cornell would have been higher on this.
That's true. They have at least. There they go.
They
Jumped
are.
up to 4. Yeah. Arizona State.
Yeah.
I mean, the only school. Well, I guess what jumps out a little bit is that Michigan State.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of these programs are still at the end.
I mean,
Still
somehow in my mind, like I still think of Michigan State as like a really good program. 'Cause I
right.
think I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and they had some like really solid
Right.
teams.
Big Rashad.
And then they still always they have some, they have Cam Caffey,
Right.
who brought
Right.
so much hope based on like a couple good weekends.
Yeah, he beat Dean.
Yeah.
He lived off that, man. He's still there. He's still in the
Yeah.
crowd when I go to the meets. He's still, uh, yes, sir. But I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They did one for, they did one for champions too.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. I didn't see that one that you showed.
Oh, what happened?
Oof. Shoes. That post has been taken down. All
Oh,
right.
Wyatt already sold out his fresh shoes.
Oh, those look pretty sweet. I can see why.
I don't know, man. I guess. Oh, and then he's got another shirt.
A new shirt?
Yeah, new one. So it's an upgrade from the last one.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Maybe he heard our pod.
yeah, right. He's like, oh, I got to step up my shirt game a little bit here. For sure. Did you have anything?
Oh,
Oh,
just another shirt. Lemley dropped a shirt, man.
oh, yeah.
Kind of like it.
Yeah. I would not recommend Carter wear it.
Yeah.
He should probably avoid that bad boy. But
This is like old school, like 80s, like wrestling shirt.
yeah.
Like aggression, win.
Right. Something about like taking swimmers' girlfriends or something, or like, just like. But yeah, right. Simple, to the point. Amazing blue.
Yep.
I'm hoping he has a good year. So I'm a big fan. I mean, ever since like I was there for the Iowa meet, like we were like mat side, closest seats to the Michigan bench. For that, we got moved up there by the usher because we were wearing Michigan gear and they smoked them. They won like the first 6 matches, but the Lemley Real Woods match was like far and away like one of the best matches I've ever seen live. Just
Yeah.
I mean, the energy on that was just so phenomenal. So yeah, very cool. I think that's it. Oh yeah. Still got room. Anybody who wants to be a guest, I guess the next show is going to be primarily Claw. So if you want to talk Claw, jump in. So kind of change the times. I think we're going to be midweek, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
So I should update that slide. But go ahead and reach out on X, make something happen. And you too can be. Oh, do I have it? There it is. I got it right there. We got a spot waiting for you. As
You
we
are
speak. You are here. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else.
All right. Well, look forward to watching the
Let me
Jack's veto match.
did that wrong. I jumped in the bell one more time. Yep. So that'll be exciting. Any other plans for the week? Anything good?
I've been going to jiu-jitsu like every single day. So
nice.
that's my plan. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to go right after this, actually.
I've been jumping in the river every single day, catching some big smallmouth. It's been a lot of fun. So missed today, but the last few days, really the last week. So that's been good. I'm going down to Dad's Thursday. Get the house squared away for you guys visit and everything. So
yeah, we'll be there in like 12 days, something like that.
Yeah, it'll probably be messy again by then.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great week.
Thank
we'll
you.
see you next week, and take it easy, Roy. I'm gonna send us out here.
T-Rock.